Greetings, everyone. This is me, Zahra Berserk again. Can't wait to tell you what's come across my mind. What is Allah's wisdom about this Surah Ahzab, ayat 36 and 37, and the tafsirs on it, Shia and Sunni. Sorry about the background sound. And soon, maybe after some time, there will be some more. I have to, a prayer call will come, so I'll have to stop this and then come back to it later. Okay, so we start, what has come here about this ayat is that, and now I'm looking for the will of Allah, the decree, command, is ever to be accomplished. So Allah knows whatever happens to you, so it depends on the choices you make, or whether you submit to God's will or not. Whatever is supposed to happen will happen. C'est la vie, that kind of a saying. Is it in French? Whatever will be, will be. But here we have the command of Allah. It is a command of Allah, decree of Allah. In both ayats, 36 and 37, Surah Ahzab, it says, Amri. It means the command, decree of Allah. And so these are, whether I'm poor or the Muslims, or whether I was deceived or the Muslims are deceived, or whether I deceived myself or I don't understand this ayat, is that Allah made this happen, and there's certain things that happen in your life. Applying that philosophy, logic, reason, which is out of the will of the people, human beings, events taking place. But in the end, Allah makes it it all falls into place, since it is said here in Surah Tawbah ayat, say, nothing will befall us except what Allah has decreed for us. He is our protector. Let the believers then put all their trust in Allah. Surah Tawbah ayat 51. Right? The female Quran, Abul Ala Maududi. So, this thought came in my mind that Shias and Sunnis are stuck to this Quran, this religion, saying that, thinking this way, their pattern of thought is that, say, nothing will befall us except what Allah has decreed for us. Even if you see it says befall, yani either it's musibat, siban, no. So this is just an introduction on that. Then I will stop when the azan call goes on, and then I will come back again. Let's see how far I go in this. So any Muslim with eloquence, and in the comment section, they can explain to me. Now I pray to God that I would be patient and listen to your side, the wisdom of Allah. So whatever befalls us is from Allah. It is the decree of Allah also. Kataba Allahu. Now this kataba is also used as a decree, or is in the knowledge of Allah, struck except by what Allah has decreed for us. Amrihi is decree, command, but whatever is Allah has prescribed for us. So here we have the prescription, you see? And it comes, people may say it comes close to the command of Allah. Now the decree of Allah and the command of Allah is different. Sorry, it is the same, but what is the this khataba is different. Yani, what Allah has prescribed for you. So they say decreed for both words, khataba and amrihi. In Surah Azab, verse 36, 37, it's amrihi, right? Amran, or no, amrihi. So this decreed or command, order of Allah. But I have to go through this since the thought crossed my mind about this. Now, I asked for help, but I can't find a surah that would. I just can't find it, so I came to share this also. That I cannot find a surah. If someone will help me in this also here, being honest and civilized, because we're after the truth. Okay, I do get angry and all this, and I was kind of sulking. Oh God, So my other side there was a tug of war. This, and oh God, how will I explain it to Muslims? And then I was like confused that could they be right? Like that, it that dawned on me. So I was like, oh my God, don't tell me. Oh no, I have to deal with this. Could they be right in this? Oh Lord, help me now to finish this with the art of good reasoning and ayats from the Quran. So can Allah do this? Now you would say that there's cultural differences. So Allah had to use this as an example, command, order Zainab said. Zainab against her will, whatever, like it has been decreed, and then looking at it particularly with the tafsirs, the ayah 36 and 37 of Surah Azab. So I know what the Muslims do now, but let me just gather myself and gather the words. They say that Allah had to like whatever Allah has decided for the believers, men and women, it it has to be for their good, right? So we may not see it like my father said that what is the Prophet's wisdom in this ayat, Surah Azab, ayat 37, and Allah's, it's the same. We cannot, we're believers, we're supposed to submit our will. So there's one thing, let me see if I can, sorry, I'm going to be disorderly about this. So another thing is this, right? Let me just gather myself. Now that I'm on Surah Qadr ayat also, Surah, indeed we sent it during the night of decree, the night of power, Qadri, right? It is not decree, it is the night of power that decides you. Allah on this night of power decides your decree. So it's a night of power. So again, power, and sometimes decree is used in the translations. Do you see this? The night of decree is better than 1,000 months, rather than the night of power or determination. It's more charitable than 1,000 months. So what the Muslims may have missed is that the logic in the ayats, it fails. And they said, oh Allah, since this general ayat is there, it is, you submit to the will of Allah. Do you get my point? Now the affair, amran, this is either command or what, so here they use affair for amran, amran, amre, God's decree or God's command. The angels and the spirit descend therein by permission. بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. for every matter, for every command. كل أمر. Now, can't pronounce this properly, but do you see this? So now, how to tell the Muslims, brothers and sisters. I know you're going to read Surah Tawbah at 51. Never never will befall us except what Allah has decreed. Allah has ordained. Would you see? Like, it's not a command, but what Allah has prescribed for us. So look at the big picture, it's done. And so here was the physical decree of Allah coming down. However you may put it. Surah Azab. Here is like a devastation, but the devastation is on the material level through the command of Allah that seems to us, and for Zayd and Zainab, as a devastation in their marriage. Just off the cuff, or even through a general ayat. I haven't worked it out properly. And remember Muhammad when he said so here Rasulullah feels, keep your wife in fear. Allah is commanding Zayd, and but he also fails. You see, you fail to see. You give me the big picture. After all, whatever happens to the believer is the decree of Allah. So then if you follow that kind of a thing, then the polytheists can also say whatever happens to us is through Allah. Yeah, whatever good comes to us is from Allah. They said this. And whatever bad omen or bad luck comes from us is from this messenger, they said. It's a Quran ayat. But they did believe in Allah. So this religion is... sorry, I have to put it this way, right? Like, for one moment, I was like in my Shia moment. Oh, wow. Allah physically has given an example here. The Amri one. Now I'm searching what is Amri, decree. Is it a command or is it enough? But it is what Allah has decided. Is it a command? Is it what will? Is it like what we do? We submit, but the event outside, we submit to Allah's will. But things don't go our way. No. Things don't go the way our nafs wants it to go, but we submit to Allah's will. Then how come the nafs? The nafs of Zainab has come again. Nafs amara. Or the nafs that is desirous, has its own say, its own thoughts. So on one hand, the Shias and the Sunni Muslims were like, well, this is what is written, maktub. What Paulo Coelho writes. An Arab would understand this. Meaning a Muslim Arab would also, or a Bedouin Arab would understand. It is written. But remember, Bedouin Arab may be a Muslim, may be a pagan at that time, when there were pagan Arabs. No more now. Very few, maybe. So like that, you see what I mean? I can't explain clearly enough right now. It just came to me. And I can see the Muslims saying, wow, Allah's Amar. You don't understand, Zahra. Now, I caught on to like my Shia thought. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the end is accomplished, and since we even submit to the will of God, but like Imam Hussain had to go through all that. So like one time Imam Hussain was saying, I submit to your will, Allah, I've submitted. or praying. The Bibis, the holy progeny of Rasulullah, they were praying for Imam Hussein to come up to his promise to Allah. That this Karbala, this terrible event, is the will of Allah, is the command of Allah, is the decree of Allah for a better end. So Imam Hussein comes in now here for us Shias, when I was a Shia, to understand. But here, since directly Allah is commanding Zainab against her will, and then if you take it step by step, so it's like, wow, amazing, right? Through the Muslims' eyes. This is like physical, it gets to you. It is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, but this is the plan of Allah, because the end result is that you suffer, but this will be good for the believers also, because this culture, this thing that they didn't marry their adopted sons, wives, ex-wives, is not, it's terrible. It's a terrible culture that needs to be eradicated and needs an example of Prophet Muhammad with another believer, with his son, adopted son, to establish for sure, completely, that no, you can marry your adopted son's ex-wives. How important is this? Do you think the Buddhists had a problem with this? That you have to, wow, amazing, amazing. What Allah has accomplished here. Wow. On the physical realm is like the Amri of Allah. So these believers had to be sacrificed, because even the believers get hard times and all this. Do you get it? Like on the physical level, this is a direct thing that, oh my God, this is so shocking, against their will. But then we all have to go against our will and say it is only the will of Allah. And if we are not aligned with the will of Allah, so personally also, we will be in trouble. We will go astray. This much is true. This much is true. Clearly wrong path. If you have been on the spiritual path, even not on the Islamic, any religious path, ask Shakti Gawain, the author of Creative Visualization book. So, excuse me, you see what I mean, the Amri. So this is a very direct example. And you would be like cringing, oh my God, it's terrible. So, and listening to Karbala, Imam Hussein's sacrifice. So God, let there be no, this kind of a thing that I want to be right or not. I need to understand the Shia Sunni side completely. In this, let there be no resistance in me. No resistance. And that feeling that Zainab could not reconcile with her feeling. So here it is. I have to go. I'll continue a bit later after 5-10 minutes. So let's see, I cannot say for sure, I'm unreliable here. So exactly, but I will come back. Thank you so much.